we have
What's the game plan for LaG Bomer? I saw the email coming across. We have a section and
you got it. The
and
barbecue.
the adults get t-shirts too, or just for the kids?
You have to have a kid size.
Okay.
And you have to order it right away. Like you pass a venture which is sitting right behind. What? You can venture.
Videos. That's a lot. A couple fire.
Maybe he wants to be related.
Yeah, we should have $40
Said Ventures making Kiddush next week. And you walked in, you said
I
that.
have a grandson named Ari Ladies. Ari Venture.
But my Ari is not from Ari, it's from Aaron. Usually it's Ari. No. Yeah. Your nickname is Ben?
The Rebbe was really excited when he got this Ksav Yad. The Rebbe someone sent the Rebbe a Ksav Yad from a Maimer. Obviously, if it was a Ksav Yad of one of the Rabbeim that they wrote it, it would be simple to figure out, not for me and you, but someone that knows how to read manuscripts that would know in a minute. This Maimer was obviously not written by one of the Rebbes, because it was written by a Chossid. So they heard it, but it wasn't written which Rebbe wrote it, which Rebbe said it when it was said. But the Rebbe read through the Maimer a few times, and the Rebbe said it's Zichah B'Tzemach Tzedek. How do you know it's a Tzemach Tzedek? Because and then it was quoted in other ways that it's in Tzemach Tzedek. The thrust of the Maimer is a question: why is it that in the Gemara and in the Shulchan Aruch we find the P'tira V'Tzadik is the day that we fast? For example, the Gemara brings that the person makes a neder to fast like the day of the passing of his father or of his mother. So we see that the day of passing of father and mother is a fast day. Day of fasting of a tzaddik, the P'tira of a tzaddik, as I know there is a day of a fast, is Brun Shulchan Aruch. So,
it's his birthday.
Okay. Zayin Adar. It's Brun Shulchan Aruch.
The yard side of a tzaddik is
Moshe Rabbeinu.
Is the fast.
Fast.
But today in Landau's they had no Kaddish. I mean no Tachanun, and they had Mizonos. So that goes against what you're saying.
Reb Shimon Bar Yochai came along and he told his Talmidim that they have to be besimcha, and it's a Hilulā, the opposite. They should celebrate it like a chasana. Today, when you had the Bichlal, Misnagdim, Yidden, they celebrate the Yortzeit by fasting. Siddim, they celebrate the Yortzeit, herring, kichlach.
You go to your father.
They fast. Even if they don't go. Even if they're the other end of the world.
No, I'm saying
they
fast.
They fast.
But by Hasidim also or not?
No. Siddim, machtichlach.
Even though you go to the cave,
so maybe they eat it, drink.
I know that people don't
eat.
go to the tzim.
Whatever, it's an under shaila. I don't know. This whole Inyan of eating and drinking, I think, is only a for the going to the oil of a Rebbe, but whatever. Some people tell me when they go to parents too. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it.
It's very hard to go to the oil without having those cookies.
Afterwards,
that's the whole point of having it.
Before, after, you have to have them.
Yeah, they have to have them, but after.
It's interesting what you're saying, because the Sephardim, they have a Suda mitzvah on the arts. In Sephardim, they follow the Maharan.
No, but that's after they go to the cave.
Relax, I'm talking. They follow.
Why don't we learn the Maimon? Let's learn the Maimon. Let's learn the Maimon.
Okay.
Let's understand the Hilulā of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Mishnor, Mitzvah Tzadikim. Why is it different than the mitzvah of other tzadikim? Shekoi b'mataynis kemoi b'zayin ador shemeis Moshe Rabbeinu alav hashalom. So it's a tainis. And why is it by Reb Shimon Bar Yochai? It's a day of a simcha. Yesh la'aktem inyan mahalchem ben oimdim. So look, the Rebbe Bema says
we fast as on.
No. The Rebbe says the Rebbe says two tirutzim. And one teretz is depends what the tzaddik wants. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to live, so when he passed away, it was a big tzar. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was happy that he passed away, so it was a big simcha. Moshe, so depends on the tzaddik itself. Another teretz that Rebbe gives, Moshe Rabbeinu was begging Vaskanon to go into Eretz Yisrael to live, and then he died. So it was a tzar. Shimon ben Yochai, when they cried, he said, "Don't cry. God, my whole life I was waiting to be bekesher with the Eibishter, b'chat tidis, katarna, be'achidna, be'lehitna, be'istabakus. That today it's going to be the connection with me and the Eibishter is going to be complete." So I'm excited. So Shimon ben Yochai was excited. So therefore, he said that that they should make it a Yom Simcha. And Moshe Rabbeinu was upset. He wanted to live to go into Eretz Yisrael. Vaskanon. He davened tefillah after tefillah after tefillah to go into Eretz Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu was a tzar, and by Shimon ben Yochai was a simcha. Another thing, what is a generation? Lagabe Moshe Rabbeinu. Oh, it was exciting to go into Eretz Yisrael. Everything is so exciting. They're going into Eretz Yisrael. Beruchnius there.
That's why Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go.
He wanted to go. Good.
Shimon bar Yochai will be in the same position. He probably will want to do the same.
Now the Romans are around. It's a big, it's a golus. It's a big hell and Hester in the world.
So
it's a big difference. Depends when you go in the train and when you go out the train. But here in this Maimer, Tzemach Tzedek is going to give a totally different husband. A very gishmaka husband.
So in the more that somebody want to fast, he was fasting for Beis Hamikdash every day.
The story of Reb Noach. Reb Noach fasted every day, and he said Nachim, and this, and because he said it, Nebuch had a big tragedy. He lost the son. Because he said Tachanun, he said Nachum on the day of the Hilulah of Shem Beichai. Hilulah of Shem Beichai, Lovin Hilulah of Shem Beichai. Mashno, Mrs. Sadikim, Shekoy, Matanis, Moy, Beshiva Ba'ad, Shemes Masher, Manal Vashal, Shlahak, Vinyan Mahalchem, and I am the Meila. The Pasuk says, the Venesatim Mahalchem, and I am the Meila, Shalachim, Nikraim, the Kumosh, Regel Shlam Mugbal. Oh, the Malachim, they looks like they're moving from here and there. They're not going anywhere, the Malachim.
Oh, so
they're not going. Looks like they're going. They're not ever taking like this quantum leap. They're jumping. They're not jumping anywhere. Come on, cannot sort of anefesh lahem anifshach mekoylok higam kem beshunim megvolam veim shinu bevav yumei bereish mashek neshamas mahalchem shuchul lisalas b'chinas einsad begufa de malka shemel lefneim kodesh v'afshan neshamas matzad atzmim in the rak chelak lakeim mikol makom uzbelas ach yuchul lisalas l'mayla ma'erech
That's too fast. Where are you holding? Sorry.
First piece. So
Second paragraph.
oh wow. Wow. Is this on here? Here's apple for you. Huh? Okay, very good. Very good. Mit Hashem, it should be gesund. L'chaim. Son Gai ben Naima. It should be gesund. L'oidech yomim, b'shonim toivas.
now get
She go l'acras Mashiach said Canaan.
When I see
Holding on his
see
bait.
him, you see sweet.
Yes. So Nakuda. What's the Nakuda? He said Neshamas. It says Tzemach Tzedek says Neshamas are different than Malachim. Malachim is oimdim. They're standing. They're stagnant. They're not. They don't move a lot. But the Neshamas, they're moving. They're always moving.
Hold on. But what about the ladder? Jacob's ladder.
I didn't see
up and
last
down.
word.
Yes.
I didn't see the Maimer.
That's
Yeah, it could be.
what about the Jacob's ladder going up and down?
I don't know. Hine and the shamas kind of bayon la mazeh. Shamas before they come to this world, nikagam kem oimdim. The emphasis, even though we said that the shamas are higher than malachim, as we said, the Rebbe explains in the Maimer, because the malachim are coming from the world of Bria, and there's no malachim higher than that. Neshamas, there are neshamas that plop into this world directly from Atzilus, and all neshamas, really the shoyrish is Tahirihi from Atzilus. However, malachim, they come only from Bria, but there's more than that. The emphasis, the neshamas koydem bayin le'lamazeh nikagam kem oimdim. It's like the pasuk says, Kai Hashem asher amadati lefonov, and we say the Maimah Chazal is Kaima b'diuk nekame malka kadisha. When a person through the Torah mitzvahs they become a mahalach. it Taka has a big mile, but it's Atzilus. V'av gam zeis ena k'moy kli da Atzilus mamish shakav nelubish bahem. In Atzilus, Taka the Kalim of Atzilus become one with the oil. Neshamas that Atzilus is not as one with the oil Atzilus as the Neshamas. Ah, Chayedei Torah mitzvahs b'olam Tagia legilu yoir mamish. When a neshama comes in this world and does mitzvahs along the Torah, they come to the absolute revelation of the Oida in Sov Aloy b'pchinas akli b'lavad. Lachei nikar l'mazeh hilula. That's why this world is called a hilula. Like the Rebbe brings that we spoke yesterday in the Maamer, that the Gemara says Daf Nun Daled Neirevin, that the Rebbe Yehuda said to son Shinin Ahai Alma das Lina B'nei Kivei Hilula Damya. That this world is like a chasen. So So this world is dazlina mine, makes us a mahalach, and it's like a chasna. This world is tuna kudus. We become a mahalach, and it's like a chasna. What's so special about a chasna?
What do you mean?
What does it mean? Just like when a zocher and a keva, man, what is a wedding? A man and woman get married. What's the Inyan of the marriage? And Mitzvah Shem, they should have children, and the children will have children at Seif Kaladoidis. That's the Inyan of Ein Seif. A person cannot live forever. But when they have children, and the children have children, they live forever. So the Inyan of a Hilula Chasna is that a human being who is mugbal becomes Ein Seif, Yichud Zocher Nakev, Yimem Doiris, Ein Shir, Shazeh Al Yedei HaOres, Ein Sof, Tzas, Biyichud Zeh. Just like the pasuk says, the Eibishter, after he put them together, he gave him a special bracha for Pru Revu. In order to put two things together that really have no ischabris and no connection, you need to have a psakoyach that's bigger than both of them put together. You need a psakoyach that's bigger. Now I'm giving a shiur for the women about Kabbalah Shabbos. So the Shabbos I was learning with the women a little Maimer, and in Lubavitch, the minig is that by the Kabbalah Sponim, the Chosen says a Maimer Chasidis. The Maimer is from the Rebbe L'chadoide L'kraskal L'pnei Shabbos Nakabla. It's based on the Alter Rebbe's Maimer of L'chadoide L'kraskal L'pnei Shabbos Nakabla. Remember?
Yeah.
I said it 25 years ago. How many years ago did you say it?
About 20.
20. Okay, you remember? It's good. I remember it. So it's hard to forget. And one of the Nekudas in the Maimer, so Taka, at the beginning, that's beautiful. The beginning of the Maimer says that there's a Yichud Chitzoni, a Yichud Pnimi, that whenever there's a Mashpia Makabel, there has to be, just like he gives two Misholim. It's unbelievable. The two Misholim he gives, how the Mashpia Makabel connect. There has to be a Shpoch Chitzoni, a Shpoch Pnimis. He gives two Misholim. One Mashal is that a father wants to play with the baby, but the baby can't move. A 2-week-old baby, a month-old baby, 2 months old. So Yichud Chitzoni is the father picks up the baby.
Who's the need to bend down? And
bends down and picks up the baby. Yichud Pnimi is that the father plays putchkis with the baby, plays with the baby. And in the Maamer he says that the Magid said that the baby plays with the father's beard. What's in the Geya? It's like the Rebbe that the baby plays. So that it's a mashal for Yichud Chitzoni, Yichud Pnimi. Yichud Chitzoni is when he picks up the baby. But anyone, the babysitter could also pick up the baby. But the babysitter is going to putchki with the baby and knip in the back and say, "You're so cute." It's not going to be the same as a father. When the father picks up a baby and tells the baby, "You're so cute," that baby will grow up with a very healthy confidence and they'll have a lot of koyach and nefesh, always in the neshama.
You're saying the baby knows the difference. You have a very good boy and she's taking her around and nice family. You say the baby knows.
Yeah.
How does the baby know?
That's the way it is. The baby knows. If the baby just needs a pamper, needs to get picked up, it makes no nafkamina. That's a yichud chitzoni. Yichud pnimi, it makes a very big difference. And what's nageya? The Rebbe said it's nageya that the Maggid says that he plays with the father's beard. So you think that he wants to make it alive. You give a moshul. The Maggid, as we know, was the most boring person in the world. So you want some water?
No, I'm good.
That's good. It's good. It's making time.
Everything had a reason.
Yeah, exactly. The Maggid was not such an exciting guy that hold over L'chaim L'chaim.
For being so boring. He's pretty good.
My foot just started playing my beer, but she's 3.
So that's good.
Hold on. How often is
the Rebbe said?
How often? Once in 13 years, let's say. The father comes. He's a big Talmud Chacham.
I don't know.
He comes before. How often is he? So the
Maggid says that it plays with the beard. So the Rebbe says the Maggid is not stop trying to make the story like he's just that the Inyan is that a father. Why Dafka father has to play with the baby? Because the father has Yud Gimel Mid Sarachim and loves the child. And when the father's going to play with the child, the father's going to put his whole heart into it. And the Inyan of the baby playing with the father's beard is Meriramas.
Accepting the Yud Gimel.
Yeah, it's Meriramas. So even though it's physical, and to say, but it's unbelievable that we find that we know there's a few Jungelite families that the early years, and when the Rebbe was a Rebbe, and they asked a bracha for children, and the Rebbe said that you'll grow a beard and you have children. What's the connection with growing a beard and having a child?
You're a good parent, yeah, Rahmanis.
So Lanius Daiti has to do with this marshal of the Maggid.
Does women have Yud Gimel Midas Sarachim?
No.
I don't know. The marshal talk is about a father. It's interesting. The marshal is talking about a father.
Well, why does it actually bring it into by the chuk?
Oh, what's it do? And the second marshal is that a Rebbe and a Talmud, you have to say first a joke, and then that's a Yichud Chitzon. Yichud Pnimi is Yosef Ve'emte Posach B'Shmaitzen. So Frektach the Shaila, so that's L'Chadoidi, is that we're asking the Eibishter should come Likras Kala, and through that, Neshavas Nakabla. So the Rebbe asked, in the Maimah, the Shaila, the Rebbe asks, why is Nakabla Lashon Rabbe? So I just want to explain something. What's the Rebbe's Kashi? Whenever you sing, you ask Hashem, Neshavas Nakabla, 6 million Jews in Eretz Yisrael go sing Friday night. Nakabla is plural, 6 million Jews are being Nakabla Shabbos. That's if you read L'Chadoidi in Pshat. But if you read L'Chadoidi, the way Chassidus is reading it, Doidi is Kala is Malchus. Malchus is only one. Malchus Atzilus. So what's Nakabla? What's the Nakabla in Kaparain? Why is it plural? It should say Lashon Yochid. Pnei Shabbos Nakabel. So the answer the Rebbe, this is the Maimon all you said. So the Rebbe answers that you think the Mashpia thinks he's getting so busy and he's taking away from his precious time to give to the Makabel. Kosten is Maloshin Achuz Darge, and the Soivitas, he's a grois, he's such a. I remember my Zayd used to describe there was a Psachasana in Leningrad, and it was a daughter of the Rogachev, and it was a bitter cold winter, and they told him it was time to be Masad the Kiddushin. So he closed the Gemara, he went to the Masad the Kiddushin. Right after the chuppah, he went back to. He opened the Gemara. He started learning.
But his own wedding.
His daughter's wedding. His daughter's
no. His own wedding. He didn't come.
I'm telling you the story.
Oh, that's not what he's from.
So when you read the book, you're an expert. I don't know.
Not an expert.
He didn't waste his time to go for the meal or for the dancing. But anyway,
But again,
you think the chuz darge guy has to go down. So you think that a person has to go down and be mashpia on someone else. I'm wasting my own time. I'm wasting time that I could have spent on my own spiritual elevation.
You said in a shmooze once that it's more important to give up on your own learning time to spend practical time with your child because they're the future.
Okay, but now something else. Now the word of the Rebbe is that the Zohar is saying, why should I spend my time to Pnei Shabbos, to L'Chadoidi L'Kraskala? Why should Doidi, which is Zohar, spend its time to with Malchus? So the answer is, the demis is Zohar, Malchus, Mashmir, Makabal are 2 planets. How do they get together? How do you put together Zohar Malchus? There's no shaykhs between Zohar Malchus. Zohar is the 6 midas of Atzilus. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Yisoid. Malchus is the receiver. They're the giver. The giver, the receiver, the man, the woman, they are 2 different planets. How do you put them together? Not the Zohar. How do you put them together? There's a koyach that's stronger than both of them put together. And the koyach, that koyach is Nizgala. So when Zohar It's going down to Malchus is Nesgala Koyach that's bigger than both of them put together in order for them to be Mischaber. So by a chasana, when the chosin is coming down to be Mischaber with the Kala, there's Vayavora Choisim Olakim, there's a special bracha that's higher than the Mashpia Makabel, higher than the chosin and the Kala put together for them to connect. That's why through that union, there could be children, bonim, or bnei bonim, oiskim b'toida, b'mitzvahs, they ad.
That could be both.
Right, because the koyach, for them to connect, has to be stronger than both of them put together. That makes that there should be a union of Ein Sof. Same thing over here. He's going to say that's why the Shimon Beichai said, the Gemara says, Hai alma kebei hילולא damya, which a Pashup shot in the Gemara is, whatever, he told them, this is a party, chaparayin, eat, drink, don't, every minute is very precious. So, but the Gemara obviously is meaning deeper things. So Chassidus says, "Hi Alma das lina min hey." This world makes us a mahalach. Kibei hילולא damya. It's like a chasana. That just like a chasana, through the union of the chas and the kala, there is a special koyach higher than both of them together. That's revealed to them. Same thing, dafka when the neshama and the guf, which is similar to the. By the way, neshama and guf apikabala is very similar to the inyan of man and woman, mashpia and kabel. So when the neshama comes down in the guf, so neshama says, "Why should I go down to guf and waste my time? I want to stay in Gan Eden." So dafka when the neshama comes down the guf and together they learn Torah and do mitzvahs and they have a relationship. It's not stam. If there's a pain in the guf, the neshama feels the pain. So there's a relationship. It's not stam that the neshama is around with the guf. So through that dafka, that's a pshat, and the neshama becomes a mahalach. Moike v'yichu v'slapshe neshama b'guf dum yigam ken lish v'isha. Niske v'zoyer reish parshas emer. Binyan loy solid. Hier Baor is oyer ein sof shtuchel alles adin kates. Afrika the malachim gam kem yeshlam neshama lakis v'guf v'nivre. Niske bigeres hakodesh. Shafilo hach em v'hem hילולא. By malachim, there's no birth. There is no such thing as birth. Kiyotzu min neshikim. The malachim are born from the idea of neshikim. The hילולא is mezivu gufni dafka. So by the yichud that makes the neshamas is by the Eibishter is a deeper yichud. And Mashenkim malachim, it's not such a deep yichud. V'gam al pi machkos avayitz in neshama v'guf the malachim krevim zalzeh. Kaivet samech Mashenkim neshama v'guf adam medaber v'doimem b'chok meyosed eretz koinich shmayim betfurim v'lachem bein neshama bein mitzad neshama dafke nishmas adam muchon aliyas mahalach lafi shor shem chochma medaber adam moiled Mashenkim chay bina mikomokim and neshama tzad atzma dain oy medrak bis davog beguf hayoyse namach v'notzius seifem betchilosen tzad birur neuge nasa koinich hילולא v'yachad. What he's saying is like this. The Alter Rebbe says in one of the first Maimonim in Torah that Manishtana you see this Guf Adam called Balachayim Afila HaMalachim, that the Eibishter created everything in this world, including the Malachim, the Neshama and the Guf, were born at the same time. By human being, the Eibishter took the Neshama and then made a Guf and put them together. By everything in this world, the neshama and the guf has a relationship. They're close. The neshama, the guf of the malach is not so low, and his neshama is not so high. They have a relationship. By human being, you couldn't make a guf and neshama at the same time. Neshama is a chelak l'kam mimal mamash, and the guf is a piece of dust of the earth, because the Eibishter wanted it should be notz tfilos and beseifim, seif ma'asim machshavat chila. So that's why. Malachim, they're never going to be the only neshamas are going to become a halaf. Shemha machaber agagim oretz haynu am shochs kenes kesel lachen idez dafka yelo kemeshkos vesalach tan khoiska amna ma tor mitzem gam kem dafka yeshum kerzik so shlaf shbas yegash president smekh amada atam dino marzal toy moidzem yetzer hora mishum shedei bir aklipes noge da se ayois through the lowest clippers when a Jew purifies and nimshch nishtal shosem shichu dafke gilu yoyra seif kalamum commercial eagle amakaf lamayla lamata v'hinek asheis neneya tachnes eagle v'siyama eagulum shlamata mamish k'moikin yisoyer v'snei gamken el yoynes eagle k'moikin dei birur the clippers noige dasiya shepatachtiz v'siyama eagulim yumshech giloy seif kalamum umatachos reis olam pidish in vinyan eagulim zet. Okay. So the bafka, where there's the birurim at the lowest thing, that makes that there should be a gili from the highest. Inyan igulim zetach hazeh kashayir oifim betoich oifim ila v'olu seichel arav maki v'seichel atalmud gavoya ma'al gavoya goy adoina niflos nimshach ad yidei biru das yed dafke anal b'moshe v'nimtza hilach dafke yidei erida beguf kshenkin amalachim oimdim shein lehem guf gashmi omna mekom makam achiluk mitzav neshama gam kein v'inyan sheneshama v'guf k'moi zav v'nukva v'lo de mishneim dafke. Just like a man and woman, there's the neshama and the goof. Mekom makamikim is zera isha v'tev v'tipes hazochem avareres hazera k'moikin amshach ayidei birura klipes noigid nefesh bahamis chine shemban ach haina de neshama shema mavarban. Demis is that the main koyach is through the mitzvahs that are done through the goof, but elamai the neshama has to be just like there is a shita in Chazal that the main thing of the baby is from the tip of the mother, and the father makes to bring out the baby from the tip of the mother. Same thing here. Dafka, the neshama has to come into the goof, and the goof, the ikka birurim is through the avoid the begashmi is through the goof. Kamoikam shachim the birurim klipas noige. Then have shevahamas b'china shem ba nachayne ede neshama shema hamavarish ba mashenkim v'malochim shegam etzad neshama hem einen kemoi ma ban mad my nuk from the neshamas. So the neshama is 2 miles over the malachim. The neshama itself is higher, and number one, there's a ziva gufni that happens, and by the malachim, there's never a ziva gufni. Tzorichim bezoyer pasha shmois that the Ramaz says Pirish posek ishu beisu the malachim yesh gamkein zocher v'nekeva. Oh, I mentioned it yesterday. So I looked it up actually because I mentioned about Ramosha Zakut. Ramosha, so I figured I instead of blowing a little hot air, let me look it up a little bit. So Staka, Ramosha Zakut was not such a cadman. He's in the 17th century, and he learns in a yeshiva in Amsterdam, which one of the Rosh Yeshivas is the famous Rebbe Menashe ben Yisrael. There's a picture of him. He's the guy that went over the channel. He spoke in front of the English Parliament, allowed the Jews should come back to England. He was a friend to Oliver
Twist.
No, without the twist. Cromwell. Anyway, he was one of the Rosh Yeshivas in the yeshiva, and as I mentioned, Takazai, I looked it up. Lo and behold, one of his good friends was Baruch Spinoza. Now, Mr. Spinoza, we know what happened at the end of him. He was a Mesis Madiach, and Moshe Zakut, after he finished learning the yeshiva in Amsterdam, felt like he wants to learn more Torah. So he went to Krakow, and he learned, in the yeshiva, he figured he'll go to the real place, that was where Torah was at that time. Poizna, Kroka, that was the Mokum HaTorah in Russia, Poland. So and then he decided he wants to go to Eretz Yisrael. He learned because he wanted to learn Kabbalah. And there's a very important nakud over here, which is Nageya. And the Moshe Zakut, as I mentioned, Shabbos Taka, he fasted 40 Taniyas. He wanted to forget Latin, and then he wanted to forget all Chochmas that he learned, because he said if you learn Chochmas Chetzonius, it's very hard for Chochmas HaKabbalah to come into you. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to fast. He'll forget all Chochmas Chetzonius. We see what you do when you send your son to Olei Torah. It's great, and he doesn't have to fast when he grows up and he wants to know Chochmas Kabbalah. He was Sfardi. He was from Amsterdam. They were Anusim. They were people that were from the Iberian Peninsula, from Spain, Portugal. They were true Sephardi. They were from Sepharad.
From Spain to Russia?
A lot of them moved to Amsterdam. Oh. And some of them moved to Italy. They moved all over. There were people that moved from Spain to Russia and Poland too.
I'm wondering Kazakhstan.
All over.
Yeah,
people ended up all over, but
it's not necessarily
Amsterdam was a big kehillah that was from the Anusim. Anyway, he learned Torah by a Talmud. He learned Torah Kabbalah by a Talmud of Talmud of Reb Chaim Vital. Why is it important? It's a very interesting machlokes by the Mekubalim. There are Mekubalim which have the shita of Reb Moshe Zakut that Kabbalah must be learned only for Reb Chaim Vital, and anything else, and that attitude in general, I think by Chachmei Asfarad was very strong, like the Rashash, that they had this shita.
But it was for a reason.
That they said anything else is, first of all, they were scared that
Everything else is watered down.
Watered down and worse. I think they were scared about Shabtai Tzvi and people, his followers, that might have gotten their stuff, their bad stuff spreading anywhere. You know what? In a Shashailos Tshuva,
He learned
about
he learned.
Shabtai Tzvi was a bad guy.
I know, but he learned in the Kabbalah.
He had his tentacles all over
it for powers.
If you do a profile of him, he seemed to have been a tzedreter, a bona fide Michigan.
Michigan, I know.
So, but still,
he had Rabbi Akiva trick. He must have been some level, no?
I don't know. From all the reading that me and you could do about him, he sounds like today they would put him into Bellevue, and they would keep him there for quite a while. but still, he had followers, and followers who had followers who were brilliant people, and the Chachamim He Malahora. And I think that people like Moshe Zakut were, and that attitude, they were scared about foreign things getting in, and therefore they learned, they were purists. The Puritans, they have gehalten einzach. You learn only from that Arizal, and that Arizal didn't write any sponim. You learn it from Reb Chaim Vital, and that's it. But the Gure Arizal, there were other Talmidim from the Arizal. All the chidushim that we know from the Arizal, all over. He has a lot of Talmidim. So, for example, he had a Talmid, Rabbi Yisrael Srug, who has many chidushim that are very important to understanding the whole Toidas HaTzimtzum or Avodas HaBeirurim or Toyu V'Tikun. These are all concepts that came to us from the Arizal. So the word Gedolei Yisrael, that they were Puritans. They said there's no such a thing. The only thing we learn is Reb Chaim Vital. Everything else, they wouldn't even look at the Ramak, the Moshe Kordoveru, which heard of the Arizal himself. No, we only learned the Arizal. They were worse Lubavitch than Lubavitch's Hasidim. They were the worst of the worst, these guys. And then you had another Shita, which are a lot of Gedolei Yisrael in Europe, that did learn from many of the other, what we call Gurei Arizal, the little lions that stood at the feet of the big lion. Arizal is the big lion. The Gurei Arizal, they're called.
Who's that, the Rashash?
The Rashash, no, the Rashash had gehalten that only from the Reb Chaim Vital. So the other Talmidim, one of them, the famous other Talmud is Rabbi Yisrael Srug, but so here's the point, that Chassidus Chabad quotes a lot from those, especially from Rabbi Yisrael Srug. And so there's a letter from the brother of the Rebbe Maharash. He writes, he was the Kopiste Rebbe, and he writes, Lanias Daiti, he writes, that the emissaries, he says, the Chachmei Sfarad were right. They were scared to look at anything else because they didn't know where's the Teven and where's the Bar. So they just said, if we're learning only the Chaim Vital, we're okay. But the Kedosh Elyon, the Baal Shem Tov, and the Maggid, the Alter Rebbe, and some other Talmidei Baal Shem Tov, they had lichtike Eugen, and they could see what to be makabel and what not to be makabel. They had light in their eyes, lichtike Eugen. Their eyes had light in it, so they could see clearly, and they were not scared that this or that. They knew when they looked at the Sifrei Kabbalah. Look, there are Sifrei Kabbalah that the Fetish never brought in Sifrei Chassidus, but still, we see in Sifrei Chassidus they do bring from many Gedolei Yisrael, and not just from Reb Chaim Vital and the followers like Reb Moshe Zakut was he learned by the Binyamin learned by the Chaim Vital, and that was it. But we see the Torah of Chassidus Taka. But anyway, back to the Maimer. The Moshe Zakut wrote a sefer on the Zohar called Kol Ramaz, and the Tzemach Tzedek brings him all the time. So here the Tzemach Tzedek asks a kasha on himself. The Ramaz says that the Zohar says Ishu Beisoi, and he teaches that the Zohar means that the Malachim there's an Inyan of Zohar and the Keva. The Ayin Ramaz, the Shaykh Zivug Mamish b'Malachim, im kem Shaykh Hillel b'Malachim, v'may chashuv b'moimdim. So how would say oimdim? If you're saying that they can have a zivug, zivug means that they can have children, then that's the Inyan of Ein Sof. So how are you telling me that the Malachim are oimdim?
Maybe they're just partners and not the children.
V'lulei das Ramaz, the Inyan ish v'ishtoi. I guess that's not real. Then it's not real. It's not a yichud. It's a yichud. V'lulei das Ramaz. Huh?
Neshiki, nothing happened.
Neshiki, nothing happened. The zivug does. V'lulei das Ramaz binyan ish v'beisoi. Mahaynu mashbiyo makabel. I would have said Zok the Tzemach Tzedek. The pshat in the Zohar of Ishu Beisoi by the Malachim is. And when we say by Malachim Ishu Beisoi, it doesn't mean that there is a Inyan of Mamish Zokan Keva. It means like Mashbiyo Makabel. Al derech Rav Talmud. V'loi kemoi zivug ish v'ishtoi. Lahefok b'nei mavur b'biuri azer parshas noach barifus amar. Haramaz loikos of Cain. Tzorich loima akiva da zivug rak mechitzonius. Ve'ein zeh Inyan hiluch shu pnimis. So I have to say that Taka, there is such a thing as a zivug by Malachim, but it's only a zivug chitzoni, and it's not a yichud pnimi. And like, I guess that's really what you're saying, that there's no such thing as Ein Sof by them. There's no such.
Together they can make an good mala.
I guess. Void Adam Kolol. I guess that's the pshat. Void Adam Kolol Makol Oilamas. Shenke Malach B'chinas Protik Kamei Hefresh Bar Adam Labahema. Zay Yichud Meshubach Li Ein Kates. That's why by neshamas the yichud is meshubach Li Ein Kates. It's a real yichud. Begam shehu. Besides that, by a neshama, the yichud is yichud chilosam v'soifan, as we said before. Medaber v'doimim shenkim by the malachim. The yichud is not such a thing of medaber v'doimim. V'adayin tzorich bedika b'toira. It's not a shima that's not said to himself. V'adayin tzorich bedika b'toira. He meant to say, still, b'toira sanister. We still have to be ma'ayin b'toira sanister about this mysterious question about zivug hamalachim, what's going on. So the Rebbe says that this is not a maimer amuzga. The Bama says that this is a nekud in the maimer.
It doesn't have to be zachar and nekeva, like
apparently the malachim the zachar and nekeva. There's Mr. and Mrs. I don't know. I haven't been there. But huh?
It's called malachiyot. Malachim.
Okay.
Malachiyot.
Exactly.
Do we understand that there's a partner to the angel? Is that in what kind of way?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
We don't find anywhere like malachim.
I hear. But that's what he's bringing from the Ramaz. So bottom line is that the Rebbe says that the nekuda. What's the nekuda? That Adrabah, we say that the angels do have. There is such a thing as a marriage by angels. We thought marriage happens only by human beings. Apparently, marriage happens with angels too. In Kol Zeh, the emes Inyan of Hilullah is only in the Shama Beguf. The emes Inyan of Hilullah is only in the Shama Beguf, and that's the thing which we call Yichud Meshubach Li Ein Kates. So that's the Nakuda. We're running out of time.
Is more known on it? Like we don't understand it?
I don't know. Well, I don't know more. You'll look it up. You'll find more.
Where
Not Google.
Maybe in the mimer.
Not Google. No, not Google.
Let's go into the mimer deeper.
Yeah.
Google says it's the opposite. Maybe chat.
Nah, they don't. They
don't have the
they don't.
I never even thought of such a concept.
Uh-huh. So the Rebbe says that the Nefud is that to show how the Yichud by Neshamas are La'in Kates more Meshubach Umafaya. Bottom line is, the Nekuda, the emphasis we already said yesterday, what's the Nekuda of the answer? The Nekuda of the answer that Tzemach Tzedek is going to say, the Nekuda of the answer that Tzemach Tzedek is going to say is that Azoi, that even though we say Dafke and Aguf could learn Torah mitzvahs, but there's Chelak at Torah Sanigla and there's Torah Sanista, and the yichud that comes through Torah Sanista is be'enerech more than the yichud that comes through a person that learns only Torah Sanigla. When the person learns only Torah Sanigla, the yichud is not as strong as there's a mildly aseda through the yichud that happens through learning Torah Sanista.
What is
so that yeah, that's what he says.
Them to found out that even a Pasha the Pshotim Yidden that the tefillahs are going higher.
I don't know. That's what he says.
So how is
that when a person learns Nitzta the Torah, the yichud is much deeper and much stronger. So therefore, he said,
when you read learning Rashi, you should also learn like a Maharsha or something, or is it separate?
You should learn a Maimah from the Tzemach Tzedek. So when a person learns Nigla the Torah, the yichud is spectacular, but through Pnimis the Torah, the yichud is much, much more. Which is the Torah
relationship with Hashem.
Yeah.
The Nissa is the Zohar.
The Zohar, yeah.
So how comes you're not allowed to learn when
I don't know.
After 40?
I don't know. So that's a good question.
That's above our pay grade.
That's a question on them.
Above our pay grade.
So the answer
we would be mature, but
so the answer is, so the original question is like this, that the regular tzaddikim that were teaching only Nigla the Torah, when they pass away, the yichud by them is very strong. But the yichud by them is only Lamaila. Lamata, their students are missing their Rebbe. They don't have their Rebbe anymore. The Rebbe left, and they don't have a Rebbe anymore. So therefore they fast. It's a painful thing. Agam, it says in Tanya that there is a little bit of a hiruri tshuva, and there is a little bit of a ruchnizdika thing that surrounds the Talmud, but that's only mepchinas makiv, and it doesn't go mepchinas pnimi.
Makiv is a surrounding.
It surrounds them. Yeah, it surrounds that energy, but it doesn't touch them so strongly in the inside.
What is the surrounding versus the touching?
The surrounding means that they get sometimes a feeling of doing tshuva, but maybe they'll do tshuva, maybe they won't do tshuva. It's called hirurei tshuva. A person sometimes gets a little inspiration, but it's not compelling. Maybe yes, it's like the pilot. It hits. If there's gas, there'll be fire. If there's no gas, there'll be no fire. But the tzaddikim.
Can a parent do such a thing?
No, it says that the person has.
The
Parents, yeah, for sure.
The parent and tzaddik.
Yeah, for sure. But that's only in a way of hirur tshuva. Shenkin, the Alter Rebbe says in Igeres HaTshuva, in Igeres HaKodesh, Simach of Zayin, that there is another thing of a tzaddik which is so powerful, the Emunah V'Yira V'Ava, that his body was holding it in one place, and when the body passes away, Adarava, the Emunah V'Yira V'Ava is stronger to be makabel in this world, even more than before. And that's much more by the tzaddikim than in the way of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, the Torah Sanista. Because the yichud is more stronger. So there's no hagbola for the yichud. In Nigla, so there's a hagbola to the yichud. So because the tzaddik went up to Gan Eden, so in Lamaila, the yichud is felt very strong. But Lamanta is nechsa. Shenkin, but these tzaddikim that are teaching Pnimis HaTorah, so the yichud is much stronger. So you can't say there's a place where the yichud is not felt. So the yichud of this tzaddik is felt everywhere. So therefore, the tzaddikim that only taught Nigla the Torah on the day of their passing, for them it's a big simcha. But for the Talmidim, it's a day of a tzad. So therefore they fast. But for a tzaddik, which is like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, not only it's a simcha for him, but it's a simcha for all his Talmidim. Because when he was alive, they could only receive from the tzaddik a little bit, because his Munah V'Yira V'Ava was stuck in one place. But now they can get from the etzem of the Rebbe in a stronger way than he was alive. And therefore, the Rizal told us Talmidim that they have to be happy. And the besimcha is like a hilulā, like a chasana. Because the Inyan of a chasana is the Inyan of a yichud, and there's ein soif. And he said, on my day that I'm going to have that aliyah, because on the day a person passed away is where all his Torah mitzvahs have the ultimate aliyah. So that day that I'm going to have Aliyah, you all are going to share with me this Aliyah in a spectacular way. So therefore, no chas v'sholom that you should cry or fast. Adarabah, you should celebrate, you should make l'chaim, it should be a big simcha. That's the Inyan of the simcha of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. So if we should summarize, you have the two tirutzim that we said to the Rebbe, and the third teretz in the Tzemach Tzedek. Again, what's the question? The question is, why is it al pi nigla? The day of a tzaddik's petira is a day of fasting, and al pi nista, the day of a tzaddik's petira is a day of dancing. It's fasting or dancing. It's how could you have such opposites? So again, the first answer that Rebbe said, different from Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to live. There should be, was a different thing. Also, Mitzad the
learn to see this.
Yeah, but he wanted to. He learned Chassidus, and he knew the mile of going into. He knew the mile of going into Eretz Yisrael, and he wanted to. That's the first Eretz. That here, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to live, so his passing away is at Tzad. Marashvi wanted to pass away, so his living is so therefore it's a simcha.
Why would he want to pass away?
Because he said that his whole life he was waiting to have the ultimate yichud with Hashem.
Oh.
And the
like
day of his
like the sons of Aaron, you're saying?
No, it's not the difference of sons. It's different. The sons of Aaron. The sons of Aaron. No, he waited his turn. He did his avoid until the last day, when that was the time when he was supposed to go. He didn't jump the gun. He didn't go earlier. But he knew that was the day that the Eibishter gave him a certain amount of days to live, that he's going to make the Birurim and Yechudim, and this day is going to be the ultimate, that he's going to be Beyachid the Beilitna. So therefore, according to the Tzemach Tzedek's teretz is that the tzaddikim that are pi nigla, that teach only nigla, so the yichud is not so strong. So it's felt l'mayla l'mata. It's a chisaron. M'shenki for Shimon Bar Yochai. Maybe shall help him that is coming up the simcha of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, that we should learn Torah of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, and when we learn the Torah of Shimon Bar Yochai, we'll always be besimcha. So we should be besimcha. We should be makabel the Torah besimcha b'pnimis.
That's why I like Baor is the day most of the people that go holiday.
Yeah. Well, when you start off the shiur, you said about how when you have children, so you have trickle down so the end, and then when you ended the shiur, the same idea with already getting over Nister.
Right.
It's very similar. The concept. That's the continuity.
Right.
One with children and one with Nister.
Well,